We remember what we always have been, and that has nothing to do with your issues in life, with your tensions. Actually, your issues in life and your tensions is the proof that you are not at one with your true self, that you forgot the Tao, the Dharma, the kingdom. When you are free of yourself, when you are not considering yourself, your personal self, over and over again, then you are at one with the Tao. Then you are the Dharma. Then you are the Supreme Spirit. And you sense it always. It is always alive. You feel not separated from the totality. You feel that there is, let's say, care, universal care. And you start to listen to the language of existence, and you are able, no matter what happens in the world or in your life, to see it and embrace it from that universal perspective. Parivarta needs to take place inside. So usually the center of one's life is in surviving, and it is in the mental realm or in the emotional realm. And the shift of consciousness means it's being shifted to the being, to the real center, and not to the artificial centers. And the real center is always stable. It's not artificial. It is actually unborn. So it can't be destroyed, and that's why it's solid. And all the other structures, our second nature, so to speak, that is just the product of your society and your, how you have been raised, and it has nothing to do with who you are. So Parivarta means you come back to yourself. Being awake is not only to be informed. It's like if you want to know your body, you can study it in a book of anatomy, but then you still don't know your body. And you can study also your body by going inside and experience your body on a much deeper level than you are used to. So you become refined, you become more delicate, sensitive, open. And like this, actually, you study the mind, you study the self, you study the structure, you study life. And by studying it in the sense that I mean it, you become life. You are one with what you always have been. Trimurti here is a wonderful place in the Czech Republic, in Moravia. And in the forest, and here you can see around me the wonderful hills. And we are here together with the visitors or some residents to explore the self, to explore the being. And not only to explore, but to practice it, to live it together. So we break down the old structure, and it doesn't matter which structure. We don't speak about the good structure or a bad structure. It's not about that. We just want to know who lives inside of the structure. What is here? And this is a path of liberation. So you liberate yourself from your identification with the structure. Whether it's wonderful or not, whether it's not functioning or does function well, that's not important. Liberation is freedom from the self. The harder we are, the more pain we experience. And we have become hard because we have learned to defend or to protect ourselves. But the harder you get, the more isolated and lonely one feels. And this place, Trimurti, is here to open us, to remember who we truly are. So our hardness, our protection, our armor starts to melt. And when one is identified with it, then you feel like as if something of you is falling apart, is melting. And you don't know what happens, because there you know yourself, there you control yourself. And when you start to melt and you become liquid and you become more and more open, you become more vulnerable. And at the same time, you become more real. And that goes on until, as I said today, one is completely liquid. One has not a fixed picture or even sense about oneself. And what remains is, in words, what we could say, I am, but even that is limited, that perspective. But I am is definitely the beginning of something that even goes beyond. And there are no words for that. So even Trimurti, which is these three principles of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, there is a fourth principle behind it. And that's what you are. But it has no name. It's the nameless reality. That goes by itself. We always underestimate the power of the self. That power actually brought you here, incarnated you here. This whole universe came from it. How could we ever not trust it? It actually, when you put the I in between, and that wants to control and has all kinds of ambitions, that doesn't function so well. You can see that everywhere. It creates war, it creates tensions, conflicts, divisions. Okay.
Anybody some more, or is it push it around like this? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I also like him laughing to some videos.
Yeah. Yeah, Sacha means the undeniable truth. That means it is not your truth or my truth, but it is the truth of everything. We can only discover it or uncover it by entering oneself, entering reality. It is everywhere. It is in all the elements. It's in matter. It is in the subtle energies. It is in the invisible. It is actually the foundation of existence. And that's why it's called Sacha. Sacha means truth. And it is a retreat center because what is retreat? To retreat means you bring all your energy that is usually in doing and in the senses, you bring that back to the self. And we forgot the self. If people like to talk in terms of sin, this is the only sin. We forgot the true self. And that's why we are in trouble. And when we retreat in the true self, then you are at home. That means you are in harmony with the totality. Everything is a possibility to go inward. And actually inward is just a way to speak about it, because in reality inward and outward doesn't even exist. But since we have been moving and forgetting ourselves in the things, in whatever we experience, we forgot so much who is experiencing. And The reminders are everywhere. Death is a reminder, happiness is a reminder, unhappiness is a reminder. I mean, everything reflects that voice of the real. And whenever you are in harmony with the real, your system is in love, is in deep contentment and peace, and when not, you are in trouble. You are in tension. Yeah, it's very simple. And Corona is just now in the news, in the media, but there are so many other Coronas going on. Corona is a small issue on this planet. The virus that really makes people sick is the virus where people don't love themselves and have enemies and feel separated. Unlove is a much bigger issue than a coronavirus. Yeah. And of course, these challenges of viruses and many other challenges in life will always be there. But the one who is rooted in the self is completely fine with it. It sees it as a challenge and not as an obstacle, not as a problem. We deal with it.
Down.